Hello, Jonas Rex here of the 1912 Titanic Swim Team, and this week we're bringing you our Eevelutions deck list. So the original Eevelutions, Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon are very iconic in Pokemon, and bringing them all together in one deck sounds amazing. Obviously, after reading the cards, we didn't think these cards were going to be very competitive, but we did find one thing that they do very well. These decks, these Pokemon, can swing 280 easily with Crispin and Sparkling Crystal in the format. So we got into it. Can we loop this every turn swinging 280? Is that enough to make this deck even slightly competitive? And it wasn't. The deck's not good right now. See, we have 3 types in the deck, and you'd think, okay, cool, we can hit for 3 different weaknesses whenever we need to hit those, but the weaknesses that we can hit for are not really meta threats at the moment. We have Charizard, Regidrago, Gardevoir, and we just don't really have a good matchup for those. Even teching in the Leafeon to hit the Charizard for weakness felt really clunky after that, because there are often times where I use Sparkling Crystal on a Jolteon or a Flareon to get an early attack, and now my Leafeon can attack, which led us to tech in a Luminous Energy, and that was its own mess. I think the best thing that we can do for this deck to make it competitive would be to loop the Jolteon over and over again, because the Jolteon has free retreat, and from there we can just loop into 280 attacks very easily going forward. The biggest problem looping in 280 attacks with the Flareon and the Vaporeon was that they don't have free retreat, and they would get stuck in the active unless I had a switch card. So streamlining this deck, you can expect a pure Jolteon deck going forward, but we gave it our best bet, and we did want to share with you what our successes were. This deck, being that it hits 280 very easily, is really good at taking on decks like Terapagos that are going to leave 2 prize options in their active. Easy for us to get the big KOs on. Decks like Roaring Moon that are going to damage themselves, because we can easily generate little KOs on a Roaring Moon that needs 30 HP remaining. Or we can go take the big KO on a Roaring Moon, even if it has the thingy on it. That thingy. What is that thingy called? You know, the thingy. Because we can
yeah, let's just get into the gameplay.
All right, so getting right into game 1, we are up against Terapagos. We get to go first. The only things we're going to get in on Buddy-Buddy Poffin are more Eevees. We're going to go ahead and Squawkabilly. We're going to attach the Crystal because we are going to Squawk to clear out the rest of our hand. Waiting for it to load up. Luckily, we can evolve on the first turn, so we get right into our Flareon. We don't want to Tera Orb because we don't want to get rid of any more cards from our hand. We go ahead and attach an energy, get the Mew down for draw in the future, and we're just going to end turn here. We already have the Crystal, so now we just have to attach that Lightning Energy, and we could swing 280 on the following turn. Our opponent is just going to go ahead and attach 1 energy. They're going to attach their Sparkling Crystal of their own. They can't use their attack going first, but we're going to go ahead and get the Iono shuffling up our hand, but we go right into an Earthen Vessel and a Fire Energy. The Fire Energy is enough for us to do it because we can go ahead and just attach. Sparkling Crystal counts for another one, 280 KOing the Terapagos and getting us the winning game 1. Nice. All right, and then going into game 2, we're going to be up against Roaring Moon. They open the Squawkabilly. That is not the position that they want to be in. So we're going to go ahead and attach. We have the Lightning weakness, luckily, here with the Jolteon. Going to go ahead and get the Squawkabilly so we can dig through some more cards. We don't need the Tera Orb in our hand because that would just put more of our Eevelutions into the discard pile, which we don't want to do. Go ahead and get the Mew for future draw. We can't evolve the Flareon into the Eevee on the bench because it does have to be in the active, but we can go ahead and charge it up via the Glass Trumpet. And why not put one on our Squawkabilly in case they decide to boss it up? Don't need a Tera Orb here at this moment, just passing turn over to our opponent. Our opponent decides to open up play. Anytime now they'll decide to open up play. Yeah, we had this thing bumped up to 2 times speed, but they eventually got down the Radiant Greninja when Trekking Shoes got to the Pheasantipity EX, went into the Earthen Vessel, grabbing their energies that they're going to need to continue their plays. They go into the Radiant Greninja to discard, draw 2 cards, and back to thinking at 2 times speed. I hope you guys can only imagine what this was like for me. They finally decide to Squawk and Seize. They go ahead and get rid of everything. They put down their Latias EX. It's going to make it easy for them to move things around as they need to continue throughout the game. They're going to go into their Ultra Ball, go in and grabbing a Roaring Moon EX that they're going ahead and put down on the bench. Do they have any items to go with it? Of course they do. They're going to judge us and themselves, getting 4 cards apiece. This is only going to work out a little bit better for us though, because now we have the Crispin, and that's going to allow us to get into our attacks on the following turn. Exactly what we needed. They go into Pokestop, switch some things around, give us the Radiant Greninja because they do not want to leave a 2 prize option in the active for us to KO. That leaves something for us to think about. Where are we going to go with this? We're going to go ahead and just attach our Fire Energy, go Crispin. That's going to get us the last energy that we need to take big 2 prize KOs. We're going to put the Lightning Energy into our hand, Water Energy on there to complete the trifecta, and then we're going to go ahead and use the Nest Ball to get our another Eevee, not the last, onto the bench. We'll go ahead and shoot the Pokestop, hoping that it doesn't bite us in the butt, and it does. Lost 3 straight supporters, but that's fine. We're going to go ahead and remove an energy here from the bench to make sure that we can attack again on the follow-up. It is a tough cost to pay to get that extra damage. You kind of wish that it would just be like a flat 90. I would have been okay with, but this also works itself out. We get the KO on the Greninja and we take a prize. When our opponent promotes, they're going to get the Squawkabilly back into the active, but they do have free retreat in all of their basics, so it's not like it's going to be stuck there. This is literally just a pivot for them as they go Trekking Shoes into Pokegear. Pokegear is going to look, not get anything. Really unfortunate there, but doesn't mean they don't have plays. They're going to go ahead and get 2 Nest Balls. Nest Ball number 1 is going to get another Roaring Moon EX. Nest Ball number 2 is going to get Budew, and they're going to try and lock us out of the game via Budew. Here they get the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, and they attach an energy to a different Roaring Moon before direct patching to that same Roaring Moon, moving the Budew into the active and locking us out of items. There they go. All right, so our turn comes up. We go ahead and draw. We're going to go ahead and bench the Eevee. Look around at our hand. Think about some stuff. Attach to the other Eevee. Before ultimately deciding that we're going to go ahead and fire off this boss's orders here. Getting the Pheasant Deputy to make sure that they're not able to draw more cards on the following turn. Drawing 1 for the Lost Vacuum. Not even deciding, I think misplaying here, not realizing that we should be getting rid of the Pokestop so they cannot use it to get more items into their hand in the future. But we take out their Pheasant Deputy, keeping them at a 3-card hand at the start of this turn. That's not going to stop them though, as they go into the Dark Patch that they are eventually going to Pokestop for, getting a massive Night Stretcher that's going to let them get back into their discard pile. And then completely missing what they grab from their discard pile. They're going to go ahead and get the Petrarun EX onto the bench, using the Trekking Shoes, getting another Night Stretcher, grabbing something else from the bench that I completely missed because we're at 2 times speed right now. And then they're going to go ahead and grab the Dark Energy, using the thing to lock us out of items again for another turn. That is not really a big deal. We decide we're going to go ahead and move forward with this Leafeon EX that we teched in specifically for dark matchups, but we don't need it for this dark matchup. We need it for the Charizard matchup. We go ahead and get the Sparkling Crystal off the Arven, getting another Glass Trumpet, putting the Glass Trumpet back instead, favoring for the Switch, putting the Switch back instead, favoring for the Energy Switch, getting the Glass Trumpet again, going back for the Switch, getting the Switch, not the Switch, maybe the Switch, kind of the Switch, Energy Switch we go with, and that was actually the wrong play. We shouldn't have done that. Here we go. Lining up to attack, realizing we can't attack because we use that big 580. It was all attacks. The reason that we thought getting the energy switch would be good is because then we could energy switch onto something else. But we have the Sparkling Crystal here, so just by attaching the fire energy, we can go ahead and hit a big 230 here, healing all damage, 100 damage, but in this case, all damage from all of our bench Pokemon, and we get rid of the Budew. The idea behind getting the energy switch was that we would be able to use a different attack and then use the energy switch to switch energy onto something else in the future. But failing to read has often been the vice of me on this channel, and it strikes again as we were unable to string our attacks together because we should have gotten the switch into the Mew, but they get up, they frenzied gouging into the Leafeon, which is not really a big loss for me because I didn't really see many other big attacks coming from that going forward, especially with the energy capsules on there. And that also does make this a relatively easy knockout for us to go get, as they're at 290 at the moment. We hit them again, they drop, take our last couple prizes, and that is the game. This has been 2 showcases. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.